Hola, mi gente, and welcome to
Stays Crunchy and Milk.
If you have questions or comments, queries, statements, or otherwise, we have multiple ways to be reached. Twitter is, of course, the best way for those that need instant gratification, and the show's Twitter feed is @SkimPod. That is SKIMPOD. That's where I like to fight. For the more patient amongst you, the email address for the show is podcast@stayscrunchyandmilk.com. That's crunchy being spelled with a K. We're available via Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, TuneIn Radio, Google Play, Spotify, and a partridge in a pear tree. And of course the website, stayscrunchyandmilk.com. Please rate, review, subscribe, and share the show. And a band plays on here at Skim, and to that end we provide you a Podcast, a musical discussion podcast built on a hip-hop foundation, and you know what? It's dope. Our personal Twitters are Tatum216, Lunchbox 2099, your host, the Internet's Tayrell713, and me? Well, damn it, I'm the real ODP.
That is recording now. Oh my goodness. Welcome to it. It's been a hot second since I've done this. Stays Crunchy Book episode 320. A question for the ages. I'm near certain that's it, but who cares?
Yeah, at this point, who gives a shit anymore? The fact that we're even still doing this is mind-boggling to me.
A testament to all sorts of things.
No matter how many people tell me they enjoy the show and wish we did more than one a week,
I never heard that before.
Yeah, my one buddy messages me talking about how he wishes we did more than one.
My man put 5 on it. It could happen for him.
I almost said that today, but I was like, no, because he was listening, I guess, today to the one where I talked about the really bad strip club experience I had like earlier. I don't know if it was earlier this year or it was sometime last year. It was sometime in the last year. Mm-hmm. And I guess I said on the episode, which I don't remember saying it, but I guess I said it was my second worst strip club experience. So he messaged me. He's like, "Man, what was the first one?"
Yeah, gotta know that.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I've said it on the show.
Yeah.
But I had to dredge it up. It was the one where we went to 24 Karat Gold, and I was watching the Hurricane Katrina coverage on the TV. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then he goes, "Oh yeah, I remember. It was me, you, and our other friend." I was like, "Yep."
It makes him feel part of the show because he's actually there for that experience.
Yeah. He's been there for, like, a good majority of my strip club experiences, actually. I would probably say at least 80% of them.
Oh, that's the strip club go-to, dude. Yeah?
Oh, yeah. If I needed to know information about a club, I know who to go to.
One of my friends who has a podcast, I guess we can plug, called Nike or Die. He was telling me about how one of his friends live in D.C., and every time they come to Cleveland, like, they gotta go to a strip club, and he's just like, oh, come on, man.
Yeah, when I think of Cleveland, I don't think of strip clubs. Like, I live here, and I know the quality, and
I feel like
you've got maybe 2 hitters, and then, like, after that, it's like, it's great value.
That's the secret. You only need 1 or 2 hitters. You don't need a lot. But, like, I feel like we have a couple goes, like, you either go to Secrets or
Larry Flint's is okay. I've been there a couple times.
What was that All-Star game weekend that ended on Monday, or this year was that Monday?
Yeah,
it ended. So we had, like, one of the few times, like, this summer we had overtime, and I got to work. It was like 5:30 in the morning, so I could get to work. Cause like I got like a 15-minute walk.
You parked down there while people were flooding out.
Yeah, it was just like, you know, the girls start pulling their suitcases out, walking across the street, and a couple guys were like stumbling out. It's like, I've never seen that. The lights were still on and stuff. You can still hear Whitesnake playing when they open up the door.
It's like that scene in Varsity Blues where like the sun's out and they're just like, oh, what time is it?
Yeah, it was just like the dude, like, I'm looking.
Oh man, I gotta be at the home run derby in 3 hours.
Yeah. Like, the dude was looking at me like, don't look at me. like walking out of there.
Like, you better not have a TMZ camera.
Yeah. It was like 5.
I remember seeing some Browns players up in there when I was there one time. I was there for a bachelor party. Like, I don't frequent those kind of places. We'd go more casually when I was younger, but now if I end up in a place like that, it's either we're out of town and we're just seeing the sights, which doesn't happen that much, but it has happened, or I'm there for a bachelor party.
The other day when I was leaving work, so they were going in, it was like a lady with like black short hair, and kind of think I was like, T would probably dig her. But I was like, we probably never go there, but it's the possibility that she, like, it was at 6 o'clock, so she probably a headliner then.
Nah,
She was probably going in, she get ready about 7 or be on stage
yeah,
by
that's
7.
true. If you work the lunch shift, then you know your worth if you're in that industry.
Or you just a mom.
No.
No, like usually.
When Larry Flint was the Circus and the Sideshow, it was over on the counter, like on this side of the flats. It's been some years since it was that. Mm-hmm. Lunchtime was the move.
Not only that, like when the one lady who was there when we were at lunch, I never forget because she had like a Tweety bird tattoo on her butt. She was there at lunchtime and she was definitely a headliner. Like definitely, because I seen her like later on, like at night with the bright lights, and she was definitely like up on like, because they had like she was in a private area, and I remember we were out one night because we were looking for like to pick out girls for a bachelor party, which was a whole nother mistake. But we were there, and
Sounds kind of funny when you say it like that too now, huh?
What?
After everything that's happened in the last couple of years.
What?
We were there to pick out girls for a bachelor party.
What happened last couple of years?
The Me Too stuff. I'm not saying that you guys did anything wrong. I'm just saying, like, when you think about it now,
Well,
like,
I don't.
it sounds like shopping.
I mean, it's not really shopping. It's just like browsing. It's like that wasn't going. Not.
I guess
paying.
maybe we look at it like hiring independent contractors.
Mm-hmm.
Really? I
It's
mean,
basically interviewing workers.
they're like we were looking for services. Like, you know, it's. I think it should be less of a thing. It's just like if I'm going to hire somebody to make me a cake, I still want to taste the cake before I buy it. You're just not going to like, okay, here this dry ass carrot cake you brought here.
You want to see if they can like hit the beat and.
Like this, if they're comfortable with the situation, because like, you want everybody to have a good time, like, and like some people are made to be perfectly honest, like. No, they don't do that, or like I said, they're just moms during the day. Like, hey, I'm making extra money, and this makes me more than a waitress, you know. So it was funny. Somebody, I'll tell you who afterwards, like had a post on Instagram this morning. Like, why should I tip a waitress or a bartender more than $1? When I was at the strip club, I got to see a butthole for $1. Like, she tried to send me a butthole, and it was a girl who posted that.
Well, I guess like
A female.
Yeah, I guess like Facebook now has some sort of like dating pool thing, and I have not gone on it, but my one buddy can't resist the dating app, so he's on there, and he's showing me some of the people he's been talking to, and we were out Saturday night when I was sending you the pictures from Most, and he just showed me how this stripper from the Christie's out in, I think it's like Medina?
Brunswick?
Brunswick. Messaged him on there, and he thought at first that like she was trying to work him to like come in and be a client, but it turns out that like she actually just thinks he's cute and wants to go out with him.
Yeah.
So I was trying to explain to him that like strippers need love too, and that like it's kind of weird for them to date people, so you got to be a little more open-minded.
I don't think it's weird. Like, I feel like it's not quite the opposite. It's like,
Well, I mean, because like as a guy in that relationship, you got to be willing to like be with a person who goes and does that kind of work.
I've been willing before. I remember, like, I'm gonna say not like the first time because I remember, I dated a girl who. Okay, I think I've been through the different stages. I dated like somebody who used to strip. I dated somebody who stopped stripping when I dated them, and dated somebody who was fully into it, like during the relationship. Like all different kinds of people. Like it was weird. I don't think it was weird. It was more like I don't know. I don't think I'm really a judgy person, so. Like it was easy for me. It was just like, well, I got a job too, and like at that point, this is like before 2008, so like we were busy and stuff, so it wasn't like I had a a ton of time to be spending with people anyway. It's like I'm working, you're working, you just work at night, I work during the day, and I don't know. Like I feel like an insecure guy is gonna lose a woman no matter what it is, no matter what jobs he does. Like if a woman was working construction and she's the only woman there, like some dudes will have a problem with that. Like you work with like these buff ass dudes all day. Why you come home to me? So it depends on the person, really.
I like it down. Facebook as a dating site seems to be all kinds of dangerous.
They've always had before the swipe they had like
the app plug-in things like Zeus and shit.
Yeah.
Well, now Facebook itself just cut off middleman, and now they have a whole little dating app situation. So I don't know who that's for at this point, because
it's for people who just had time to want to like fuck around. It was funny. My girlfriend tried to catch me up the other day, so we were laying in bed talking, and she was like, "If you seen somebody on a dating site, would you tell like their boyfriend or girlfriend?" I was like, "No, I wouldn't, because you don't know what they do behind closed doors and stuff and like that. And besides, I'm not on any dating sites."
That's a good answer. That was my first initial thought. Was I'm not on any sites, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah. It was funny. Like, I wouldn't tell. Like, I've been in experiences before where people aren't upfront about, like, with me about it. Not that they should be. Like, oh, yeah, I get to fuck other girls. Like, that's not something, if you're smart, that's not something you telling your buddies or passive strangers or just associates that I get to fuck other people. Just keep that to yourself at all times. I feel like you have more fun that way. Like, if I got, like, I remember when I was little, my mom used to say, if you ain't got enough to share with everybody on the front porch, don't bring out those Doritos. Keep your Doritos to yourself.
My grandmother would yell at me about something similar, but she wouldn't say it in that, like, holistic type of way. Mm-hmm. It was, you just bought that Gatorade, stop giving it to your friends.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah, you don't want to give everybody a swig.
Yeah.
Because everybody going to take the same swig.
Yeah, that 24-pack will run out real quick if you're giving it to everybody.
Yeah. Then you don't want to be known as the Gatorade boy neither.
Yeah, it becomes like everyone's like, oh, I'm thirsty. Can you go in the house and maybe get me a Gatorade? Like, motherfucker, go buy your own.
Yeah, because everybody ain't respectful about it. Then you find Gatorade bottles in the yard from one of the kids. Like, motherfucker, look.
Yeah, you pick it up after and it becomes a whole thing. You become a host on the outside of your house.
Yeah.
With the possessions from the inside of the house.
Yes. I'm good. I ain't got no Doritos. I ain't got no Gatorade. Yeah. We don't drink. We ain't a Kool-Aid house.
I ain't got no food. We starving over here.
Yeah.
Can I come to your house and get some food?
Yeah.
Just flip it the whole other way.
No, I still didn't do that. Yeah, I didn't. My mother didn't do that a whole lot. Like, you could go over such and such house. I remember my friend I talk about often on this podcast, Deontay. His father didn't like me. He liked every other kid. He just didn't like me, and he'll be cooking up shit and then give all the other kids. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm not like I wanted it, but at the same time, like, I could politely decline. But he wasn't that kind of person. But sharing, you got to know who to share with. You got to know, like, what information to dial out to different people. You're just better off being like, all right, I got 4 aces. I'm going to hold on to this. You can keep on looking in the pile. Let's just wait a little bit and see what plays out.
What's been going on in your world, sir?
In my world? Well, not a whole lot.
You can't share with the listening world.
Well, let's see. Recently, like, I don't really get to kick it with my family very much. Like, that's my mother calling. Like, other than like, no, that's okay. I'll call her back. She retired now.
Congratulations to.
But hey, that's all right.
We'll delete it. Yeah, that's 3 soul swings for you.
So, like, my cousin, we were just talking back and forth on Instagram, and like we were planning on, like, my cousins are, I don't know how much older am I than that? maybe 10 years. Like old enough to be older than them, but young enough to be like, oh yeah, we grew up together, and like, you know, they're like they're out of school and stuff like that. And she just recently had a baby, and we were talking on Instagram. I was like, we should do something. We should go out, and like at first we were going to go to the market because she's into juicing right now. But then I was like, no, I'll wait for that. And then we were going to go to Boo at the Zoo. And since she has like an infant, it's been pretty cold, so we didn't do that. So we ended up going to the aquarium. And we went there, we met up, and my oldest son was infatuated with her so damn much. He was like, ching, 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 ching. And it was just like, it was amazing to see, and it was a good feeling to be like I feel like being the kind of person I am, I'm just like, not closed off, but I'm pretty like I might be loud and shit on the podcast and stuff like that, but I'm a bit of an introvert. Like outside of this, I'm usually pretty quiet. I like to really keep to myself, and I feel like I need to stop doing that some, because
I actually just finished a book about introverts and extroverts last night.
Yeah.
That was because when I finished like the one what the hell was, like this lady I was listening to her audiobooks, Gretchen Rubin. Mm-hmm. She had like the Great Home book. I forget the name of it off the top of my head, but it was like about like a happy home. Mm-hmm. And I finished that, and I had no more like self-help books in my queue because everything else that I asked for was still on hold from other people. So I had like, I'm like, oh, what am I gonna listen to now? So I went back into the pool, and I ended up I don't even know how I ended up in there, but like I found like some books about like introverts and psychology and stuff. So I grabbed like that introvert extrovert book. I have another one in my queue that it's like talking about like brain fog. Mm-hmm. And then I pulled this one that was like Own Today. I forget the whole name of it. I'm listening to it today. I started this morning, and I'm already like 44% of the way done with it. I've just been listening to it since I got in the car this morning, so I listened to it for almost like 5 straight hours. And one of the things was like listening to that audiobook about introverts and extroverts. Mm-hmm. was it made me realize that people can understand like that you could have that type of like especially in a relationship.
Yeah.
Like I know like people basically feel like introverts are quiet and reserved and extroverts are loud, boisterous, and all that kind of thing, which is true. But it goes deeper than that, in that an introvert can appear to be an extrovert, but it kind of wears on them. It's like how like I come to work and I'm like talkative all day,
yeah,
and people think I'm funny and outgoing and blah 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 blah, and then I go home and then like I don't want to fucking talk to anybody. I just want to sit in a quiet ass house and be by myself, because it's like recharging the batteries. And they were talking about how like that can strain like a marriage if one person's extrovert and the other person's introvert, because the extrovert person wants like time with the other person, like to do something, like go to a dinner, hang out, talk about their day, blah blah blah. An introvert person will want to come home and like they're happy to be in the house with the person they love, mm-hmm. but they want to unwind and like be alone for a while, and so it puts a strain on the intimacy.
I feel like it does do that. Like sometimes like I can't. And I know this over the years now. I don't have that time to be like, hey, I just got home. I would just like to like declutter my mind, decompress. I don't have that time at all, because I have a partner and 2 kids. It's like, it's almost like sometimes I always have to be on. Yeah.
And it gets tiring.
It does get tiring, but at the same time, it's just like, I'm already a wreck in my life anyway, and I already hold so much stuff in anyway. It's like I just kind of like I have to like go with it, because this is the life I've chose. As far as like, I have kids. I can't stop being dad. Mm-hmm. I can't stop being dad. Like when they get up, they're calling me. I gotta get up, no matter how much sleep I had, no matter what's going on. I have to keep that up. eventually, like, I do have time, so I'm just like, yeah, I took a half an hour at the store. I only needed to be here for 10 minutes.
But I mean, those are the kind of things, though, that I think like the book was suggesting do kind of help keep a balance. I don't think it was meant to imply that like you should abandon your family for an entire day to go, have like a Ferris Bueller type day. But like going to the grocery store and just spending an extra half hour walking the aisles by yourself, like looking at things, could be enough to just kind of like get you back to center.
It does.
Yeah.
I had to go after work yesterday to get some cookie making supplies for tomorrow. Tomorrow is, as you listen to this, is Boss's Day, and our boss is pretty great, so I'm making some cookies because it goes down like that sometimes.
Oh, tomorrow's Boss's Day? I should probably relay that to my team.
Or you could just go get a card and say,
well, we had talked because last year for Boss's Day, we got him a card and a Taco Bell gift card.
Yeah.
This year we were talking about getting him like a 24-pack of vitamin water because he's always going to the break room to buy like the XXX vitamin water out of the vending machine.
I love XXX. On a side note, XXX is the only vitamin water, like if you put it in the freezer for like just the perfect amount of time and then shake it up, it's like the smoothest smoothie of all time. And it got to be perfect because if you do it too long, it'll be like chippy and icy. But if you do it too long, of course it doesn't do it. But if you get that sweet spot and you take it out, it's some scientific thing I learned about a long time ago. I don't know this shit now, but you shake it up and it gets like the smoothest smoothie of all time. All right, back to the show.
But no, you had to do something.
Oh no, and that's what I'm saying. I just happened to just be able to. I left work. I went to the grocery store. Just got the tour about our giant eagle here. Got all the baking supplies out already, and like whole end caps and displays of like all your seasonings. Here's your brown sugar. I'm like, oh cool. I definitely need some of that. Come up. Oh, here's your chocolate chips right over here. I'm like, oh, even better because I needed that too because I just figured that's pretty swell.
It's funny that like I kind of ended up doing the same thing last night where I went to Sam's Club.
Yeah.
Because I'll be honest, man. These days, I kind of stretch myself really thin when it comes to everything I have going on in my head at one moment. Like, I work in a job where, like, the majority of the time, it's pretty hectic as far as things I have to get out in a time-sensitive manner. And so I'm dealing with, like, my inbox is constantly having stuff come in and out of it. I deal with, like, a communicator system all the time, like, people talking to me, asking me questions, fucking bugging me to do things out of turn just because they want it done.
Yeah.
Then I'm, like, generally have a game going on my phone because, like, the stages I can set to auto, so I just have to, like, spend the resources to get it to fire, but then, like, it does all the actions for me. But, like, so I have that going, and then I'm listening to an audiobook, and then, like, the group chat I'm in with a bunch of my buddies, like, that we talk about sports, that's constantly popping up. So it's like I have all these things that I'm doing at the exact same time. So it gets to the point where, like, by the time the evening comes, I don't want to deal with any of it anymore. So yesterday I went to Sam's Club. Usually with Sam's Club I would walk around with, like, music playing or something. But yesterday I left the earbuds in the car and I just went in and I walked around for a little while by myself. And, like, I looked at, like, the shelves, like, I never really understood it when I was a kid why my grandmother would go to the grocery store for like two things and end up walking every single fucking aisle and looking at everything. Now that I'm older, and I kind of wish that my grandmother that I still like could have just more like normal conversations with her rather than the charades games we have to play because of her stroke, so that I could kind of apologize to her for being a brat when I was a kid, like. Because I never really understood why she'd want to go there and like go up and down every aisle when we came there for like milk and bread. But now I get it. Like, she, worked all day and that was the thing that she wanted to do, made her happy, and like just walking up and down the aisles, looking at new things, like it's just aisles of potential. And then because like if they have a new product that you don't hear about, like you don't know until you see it. So it's like each aisle is like its own little adventure of excitement and potential. And then it's like I'm looking around and I'm like looking at like the deal, like in Sam's Club, seeing a yellow sign is like, oh, how much is that off? So like I'm walking through there yesterday, and it's like I ended up getting deli meat that's normally like $8-9 for $5 because I decided to walk around, take my time, and so yeah, I got 3 packs of meat that would have cost me $30 for like $15 last night.
Yeah, it's funny. Like when I'm at Target, looking out for those red signs, like or yellow, that's clearance. Let me grab that.
Yeah. It's like, and like I ended up buying like a container of Gouda cheese spread to try, but it's like good thing that like I learned from my grandmother as a kid to like look at things and stuff before I buy it, because there was like a display of it, but there was like one of the containers was already expired for a week, and then another one of the containers was expiring like today. Yeah. This, I went there last night, so it's like if I hadn't taken the time to examine what it was I was getting, I could have ended up with a week-old cheese spread, which, knowing me, I wouldn't have bothered to bring back. I would have just been like, oh, well, there goes $10.
Yeah, like looking at that is important. Like, and like just like what probably when you're trying to live a better life anyway, like getting used to looking at the labels, like.
Yeah, now I look at, like, sometimes, depending on what it is, like, a lot of the time, I'll look at ingredient lists. Like, they had, like, packs of hot dogs there yesterday that were on sale. They were Members Mark brand. And I was like, oh, man, like, this might not be bad, because they weren't, like, it was like, no MSG, blah, 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 blah. And then I flip over the container, like, to look at the nutritional facts, and, like, each hot dog is 4 carbs. And I'm like, why the fuck is this 4 carbs? And I'm looking at the ingredients list, I'm like, oh, sugar. You put sugar in here. That doesn't need to be in here. Yeah. And I just put it back. I'm like, I'm not buying this. And those are the kind of decisions I make now, whereas before I'd have been like
hot dogs.
Oh, yeah, hot dogs. I like them. They're in the car. I wouldn't even have given it a second thought.
Yeah.
Random side glance. Y'all know you know what MSG is bullshit, right? The hatred that MSG got for all these years was just trash. Turns out MSG is one just about in everything. It's just a type of salt. And the guy who wrote wrote a piece about her that made people think MSG was really causing the issue was almost probably all the way wrong. His science around it was just kind of, actually it wasn't even science. He just wrote a letter to like the New England Journal of Medicine, and then people just took it to be gospel. This guy just wrote a letter to the New England Journal. They never did a study about it or anything like that there, or research or anything like that. He wrote a letter saying, I believe this is this, and all of a sudden the world just was like, hell yeah, MSG gives people headaches. Whereas in reality, it's just another type of salt. And
thank you, Doritos.
Probably yeah, and it's in more food than you would ever think, and it's not going to cause you any more headaches. If something's causing you a headache, it's probably something else, and it's not the MSG.
Yeah, just like when people talk about, oh, Taco Bell gives you the shits. It's like,
nah, you probably just didn't get no fiber at all before that Taco Bell, and just smoothed you out, and you needed it. You better thank Taco Bell for getting everything out of the system.
Well, the thing with the Taco Bell, though, is like their meat, like their beef, it's like 80% beef and then 20% filler. So part of it is like the quality of it that runs through you.
Yeah, but like some of those fillers are like soybeans, not algae, seaweed. It's like stuff that like...
Seaweed?
Yeah, seaweed.
Man, that's a crazy beef filler.
Yeah, like... Yeah, like the fillers are like stuff that like might be good for you. Like you're pooping because you probably needed to poop. Like
well, they say like Taco Bell, depending on what you get, is like one of the best fast foods you could get.
Yeah, it's one of the best. And like some of the choices where you can break it down. Like, so for example, I get the beefy Frito Crunch Wrap, whatever it's called, with no beef. And like I don't even add chicken or anything like that. It's like,
so you're just getting Fritos and cheese and a tortilla? Is that what it is?
It was beans and it was like beefy bean.
Okay, yeah. See, I haven't been to Taco Bell in probably like a year, so I'm not hip to the menu.
Yeah, that bad boy's old. Like it's Fritos, which is a nice crunch.
Was it like one of the grillers that they had on like the dollar menu or something?
Yeah, it's on a dollar menu, but it's way bigger than a griller.
Okay.
It's like a normal sized burrito.
Yeah. Okay.
And like you can just pretty much navigate if you do it right. Like some people are like, well, if you add chicken, it's $2, but if you substitute chicken, it's like 79 cents.
Yeah.
Like you just gotta pay attention to what you're doing.
I'm just gonna give you a heads up, people. Use the Taco Bell app. It is the move. Plus, you can get in there and get precise. And they're usually really good about that.
And they don't tell you that at the register.
Yeah.
Like they'll just charge you that $2 without a care. Like, but I mean they got some pretty good stuff. Like it gets a bad rap. No fast food is perfect.
Yeah.
Or even pretty or good.
Yeah.
But like when you can kind of navigate, like No, you don't gotta get sour cream. Lettuce, tomatoes, like just like basic stuff for a couple bucks. It's not terrible. But yeah, like I did try that the mac and cheese at Chick-fil-A. It's pretty good.
Like I said, the first time I had it, I was like, this is amazing. Second time, I was like, I don't like what y'all done here. So,
It's definitely not like just some basic Stouffer's because it's sharper than, like Stouffer's is on the sweet side. This is definitely on the savory side. Like from some of the pictures I seen, like they didn't really give a fuck about how they put it in my cup, but like because it was like cheese all over. Like they didn't just give you a
clean scoop with the cheese on top.
It was just like, fuck it, this motherfucker wants some mac and cheese. But it was good, and like I got like the backwash of it pretty much because my girlfriend had some, my two boys had some, and I was left the corner of it. I was just like, and it was still good. Yeah. Like they had all they picking all on it, and it was like, oh, that's not too bad. But it's been a crazy episode so far.
as we ride around, I don't know. It's interesting. Here we are in the fourth.
Strippers and mac and cheese, man. It's a hell of a combination.
Here in the fourth quarter of the year, so it's like when I get to this point of the year, I was talking to a coworker I saw earlier, and I was like, this part of the year just it weighs on my head a little bit.
Yeah.
I ain't been sleeping right in like a couple weeks now. Like I'm just tossy-turny in a way that I'm like I hadn't been as tossy-turny in some time. I wonder what's going on with me. That I'm not. Yeah, I'm blaming it on the time of year because and that is a wild assumption.
It's not a wild assumption because like the weather's changing.
Yeah.
Like being able to sleep comfortably, like
that's what it is. It's like some days, you know what I'm saying, and especially this time of year, it's like it's hot outside or it's real cold. It's like I open my window, but then it's like, oh, it's too cold now. It's like I cannot find.
I had the windows open in my house for 8 straight days until it got in the 50s one night, and I was like watching a movie in the living room, and like I had just basketball shorts on with 2 bay windows open right behind me.
Called a stiff,
and I was just like,
whoa.
I was like, man, I should probably shut these windows and put the heat back on now.
I ain't put the heat on yet. I have not turned on.
That's the problem too. I woke up this morning because the heat's been on now the last 2 days since that happened, and it was 73 in my house. And I was like, this is unacceptable.
Yeah.
These
wild swings.
The Nest decided it should be 73. I didn't set your ass to 73. I set your ass to 67.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be like 70 today. Yeah. Like it's like this is the peak of this week.
Let me turn my furnace off right now.
But then that's what I was telling Vanessa this morning. I was like, oh, let me see what the temperature is before I had to go take Xander to practice this morning. You know, you got whatever morning practice, and I'm like, what's the temperature right now? I'm like, yeah, it was like 40 degrees, and it's like, oh, but the high supposed to be like 70. So like I said, a wild ass 30-degree swing supposed to be coming out throughout the day, and I'm like, that's insane to me.
Yeah, like today is 70, 59, 52, 54, 66 on Saturday.
Yeah,
72 on Sunday. Like it's just like these upswings, and like you have your window open one day and it's totally comfortable.
Yeah,
and then like during the night, it's literally going down 30 or 40 degrees. It's like we live in a fucking desert.
I got to figure it out, man. I'm just like I said, it's just being kind of like I said. It's just, again, it's this time of year.
Yeah, this time.
This is when I get real. It's like my busy. It's the busiest time of the year for me. In that I'm saying I got a lot, my kids is doing all kinds of stuff. I got all kinds of parent-teacher events. It's almost the holidays, so that's
it's an emotional time of year because like this year is just like every month it's like big events. Like it's Halloween, then it's Thanksgiving, then it's Christmas, then New Year's is coming. It's kind of like all this stuff is all lumped in together, and it's all times it's like, oh, you're supposed to be with your family, and you think about the past, you try to forget the past, you're trying to build on the future.
Yeah, we're like,
and it's a lot for anybody. So like don't. I guess I'm talking to the people out there. Like, don't forget about yourself during this time of year where it's like if you need a break or you feel like you can't afford something, don't put that pressure on yourself to be like, I'm going to make this special for, because I realize like I try to do a lot for my kids, but they don't give a fuck. Like, they don't care. Like
they don't care now, but if you keep doing what you're doing, like, people appreciate it, and they'll grow too.
I feel like they appreciate it, but I feel like I can cut the shit I do in half. Because, like,
I think you need to keep being you. And I say this as someone who, like, this year, the only people who got me anything for my birthday were you and my mom.
Got things working on. Shut up.
Yeah, but
I'm saying, like, if you weren't you, like, the only thing I would have gotten to this point, I guess, would have been Lion King tickets like 7 months before my birthday.
Yeah.
So my birthday would have come and gone.
She had to hop on them tickets.
Well, yeah. I mean, that was the thing, is it sold out. But I'm saying, like, but even still, she actually offered to take me out for dinner a couple weeks ago. I got to follow up on that.
I recall you actually saying that on the actual show.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I think the show has come.
I got busy. I worked OT and shit came up, and then she never reached back out to me. So I should probably make the first move on that one.
Yeah, moms are special. Like, my mom's retired. I think I might have said this already on this episode, but like, the amount of time my mother has taken, like, these last few months, even like with bad shit happening in her life and bad shit happening around her, she's been able to, like, yeah, bring the boys over. And it's just been like just in the last like 30 days, I probably would have missed like 4 or 5 days of work. But she's been there, and
yeah, I guess, like, my point was, like, don't let, like, a bad situation or some people's unappreciation change how you
mostly
operate.
my kids.
Well, yeah, because I mean, like, kids take everything for granted.
They do,
but eventually they come to appreciate it. Like I just told you the thing about my grandma in the grocery store.
Yeah,
I took that shit for granted, and it was annoying as shit when I was a kid. But now that I'm older,
come from somewhere.
That is true. But now that I'm older, like, I look back on those times and I appreciate the times her and I would go to the store and, like, one, she would give me whatever I wanted, which I do appreciate. I always appreciated it.
Yeah.
It's probably part of why I give everything away to people if they need it or want it, just out of habit. But, like, I look back on those times that I spent with her, and, like, I do appreciate them now, like I didn't back then.
Yeah.
And I would never shit on my girlfriend's, like, upbringing or childhood, but it's like, it's funny that, like, the differences. Like, when this time of year comes, and I always get my kids pomegranates. Like, my mom did that, like, every year. I know it's racist back then, calling it Chinese apples. But,
you ain't know no better.
I mean, no, that's what they call them.
Oh, yeah, so, which one's doing that? You didn't know.
And, like, getting them pomegranates, and it's like, or the fact that when we go to the store, they think it's okay to get, like, we get to pick a cheese today, right? I'm like, you don't get to pick a cheese every time we go to the store. Because they be picking shit that you don't need a Havarti.
Man, your kids are going to have a better cheese palate than me.
Havarti is the shit.
That's the grilling cheese, right?
I mean, you can do anything with Havarti. It's like
I'm learning, though.
Yeah, but, like, they don't know that shit costs $7. Like, or I want that goat cheese, or like them Baby Bells. Like, that shit's not cheap.
I literally just bought the black Baby Bells last night when I was at the
What's the
store.
black one?
It's a white cheddar.
Oh, that's probably good.
Oh, I got them at the house.
I was telling someone last night how, like, you're like my food, like a Jedi for me. Like, you're my sensei. And because I was talking to this person about they were talking about making, like, chicken chili, and I was like, "Oh, use chicken thighs." and then I went into like explanation about how they have more flavor and all this and the other.
Chicken thighs are great.
Yeah.
Like, I seen a recipe was like pretty much making French onion soup, like, or the French onion technique, but then just putting chicken thighs on top of it. I can't wait to do that. Like, when I got some time. Like, the other day, what did I think about, bro? I was like, it was something with breadcrumbs in it, and I was like, damn, I can't bring it. Can't bring it in.
Like, that's the other reason why, like, I like going to the grocery store now, is because I'm like, I get to see all the new ingredients, and like, it gives me, like, thoughts about things I could potentially do and try, and it's like expanding this whole new world of things, like learning skills that I didn't think I was capable of, just out of sheer laziness.
I feel like
anyone can really cook if they really tried.
That's the thing, though. I feel like, yes, anybody can cook if they really try, but at the same time, it's kind of like, you gotta kind of want to do it too. Like, you can have the time, but you gotta have the patience and, like, the wherewithal to be like, well, I'm gonna follow through with this, even though if I'm fucking up, or I'm like, or to start over, or just like I read a book where it's like, if you're trying a recipe for the first time, do the recipe. Yeah. Don't put in your funky moves.
Yeah. Make alterations after you've tried it and see what you like and what you didn't like. Yeah, like, that's what I've done before too. But yeah, it's like the lady who sits in front of me, the old rich lady,
the independently wealthy woman.
She was at her desk last week. She's on vacation this week, but like I'm working, and she turned around and she said it almost in a way where she didn't expect me to say yes. But she was like, "Oh, hey Dan, do you want some mint?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And she goes, "Oh, well, I have mint grows in my backyard, and I picked a bunch of it, and I have some here in a container." She almost like turned around because she expected the no come, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll take it." And she's like, "What? You actually want some?" I was like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I do cooking. I'll find a use for it."
Yeah, like mint's like real. Like you do eat pork. Like get you some pork loin with some mint. Roll it up in there.
Yeah, like I told her, I'm like, I don't really have any use for it at the moment, but I'm like, you're giving me a container of it. Like, I'll find a use. Like, I'll definitely use it. I've gotten into cooking. Like, I'll find a way.
Or like get you some mint, some lemon, and some cucumbers, and like just put it like in a container of water. It's like a detox water. Like at our old house,
I don't know if I could do it with what she gave me though, because she didn't give me like the leaves are already all cut up and like confetti like and everything. Like,
she gave you some strips like you was gonna mojito that shit.
She molded already.
Yeah, she already chopped that shit up and everything. So it's like in the container. If I put that in the water, I'd be drinking it.
Yeah, no,
she would count with the filter on it.
That's what I'm saying. If I had the filter though, like this small enough where it might actually go through the filter.
Oh, still. I've been seeing that lady walk around by the vortex. I think that lady sell meth or something. I've been seeing her like the other night. I seen her like it was like I was getting off work. She was coming from. I was like, "What you doing? But you supposed to still be at work anyway?" I don't know what that lady be doing.
She goes for a walk on lunch every day. That's her thing, man. Keeps her young.
It does. Keeps her tiny too.
Like the lady who sits in front of her was off on last Friday. So, and then like she was gonna be off all this week. So they're like, "Oh, we're not gonna see each other for whatever amount of days." And then, but the thing was, I didn't know all that. I just saw her get up and like hug each other bye, and then she had like a gift bag on her desk. I'm thinking, did you fucking retire and not say anything to me? And then I'm like, are you like retiring? And she's like, "No, she's gonna be off tomorrow, and I'm on vacation next week." I'm like, "Then what's with all the theatrics?" And then she goes, "Oh, we're just not gonna see each other for a little while." I'm like, "Well then," I'm like, "I'm sorry." I'm like, I was just so confused because it was all so much. And then I see this gift bag here. It was a lot to take in without any information.
Yeah, like we had two people like recently retire in our department. One retired, like came back from like a leave on Monday, was gone by Friday. The other lady came back on the leave, was going like on a Thursday or something like that, and then like didn't show back up. Like we had a car for her and everything. She just was like, "Fuck it."
Glad I didn't sign that car. I knew I wouldn't sign that car, but it's like I feel even better about having not signed that car.
Oh man, I said like I was taking my son for a walk and I seen her. I was just like, she had stopped traffic to say hi to me. I'm like, I don't talk to you at work. Why'd you stop the traffic right now? But I don't know. People have a fondness for me for some reason sometimes.
I feel the same way. Like I feel like people really like me, and sometimes I don't know why.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't get it.
It's that being an introvert and faking it.
Yeah, like I learned over the years, like sometimes like you talk to other people to make them comfortable, but other people I just don't talk to because like they don't want to talk, and I'm fine with that. Like I've been coming in early, and like these whole set of people, like they have this whole rigmarole they go through, like hello, and they do that shit every morning. It's so fucking annoying, but that's their thing. And like when I come in, they don't even say hi to me or nothing, and I'm fine with that. Like I'll talk to like the one dude, but other than that, it's just like I'm here to work.
Yeah, I come in, I say hello to the people that I have to, that I know like will basically require me to.
Yeah.
And then I sit down and I start working. I keep it to myself. And about an hour later, my department boss walks by, says hello, and I force out a hello, and then I go back to focus on what I'm doing. And from there, I sprinkle in sarcastic comments and silence.
You're like Norm, but without a beer mug. Like you have something to say. Which one is the one? No, you're a Cliff Clavin. There you go.
Just mentioned.
Yeah, because Norm was on this side of the camera, and Cliff Clavin was over here. He was like, "Yeah," and then that's it. Like I don't know how many more years we got of this stuff, but I guess we got to keep going.
All right, random state of affairs. I guess to wrap it all up. this past Saturday was my partner's sister's little bachelorette situation.
Penis cookies.
This is exactly what I'm about to ask. Why is all they do penis based? Penis this, penis that, and then the large inflatable penis pastas, penis gummies,
that's all we are.
Blah blah.
I feel like
I'm saying we ain't got no pussy snacks.
I was a pussy. I was
no
a pussy
inflatable vaginas on the table. You don't get a pussy cake. You know what I'm saying?
I kind of feel like it's almost the same thing as like with sex toys. Like our sex toys are gross. Like it's like you gonna have a flashlight with a pussy in it? You gross motherfucker.
Well, I guess that's the other thing. It's like you can kind of cartoon up a dick, like, and make it look kind of comical, but yet you still know what it is. Yeah. How you gonna cartoon up a JJ?
Like they did it on Big Mouth, and I think it's kind of funny, but at the same time, it's just kind of like, I don't know. That's just one of the double standards.
'Cause I mean, like you put it on a shirt, right? Like I was in Vegas, and there was like bachelorette parties walking around and shit at night, and you could tell the bride was getting real sloppy, where she might make some wrong decisions. But it's like, yeah, they're walking around. It's like they got the penis jewelry and all that stuff, and like. Which I would think would be kind of like a sex offender kind of thing, because you're walking around with like, genitalia. Not like,
it's cartoon. It's parody law.
I guess.
It's a parody of it.
But I'm saying, all right, so say it's like you have a shirt and you've got a cartoon caricature penis on the front. Mm-hmm. It's all well and good, whatever. You do that with a VJJ. To some people, it might just look like a cave.
Yeah, but like maybe
they go spelunking.
I don't know, like a phallic thing is like almost kind of like. There's tons of things that's phallic. Sandwiches and fruit and vegetables and all that kind of stuff. Like, there's not a... I mean, I guess everything, like flour...
Like, does this shirt have a vagina on it, or did you visit the Grand Canyon? Like, you don't know which it is.
I don't know. I kind of just feel
both. If you look close enough.
Yeah, look down there in the crevice. Next to the donkey.
Maybe it's just like those... It's the one situation where it's kind of like... A penis is just so non-threatening at that point, especially because it's usually not hard, right? It's kind of like a half chub. It's not.
Maybe they're just gathering as a unit to assert their dominance on the penis.
I'm fine with that.
Well,
because it's usually a white one anyway.
I had to go.
Isn't it usually like peach?
Yeah, it's like a peach one.
That's another thing. It was a little. I was like, "What's going on here? Ain't no pieces of color to be had up in this set." You know what I'm saying?
I'm fine with being left out of that. Because even like I've seen even with like black women's parties, it's still like a red domed, light skinned shaft. It's never really like it's not. It's never,
this is what I got going on.
It's not what I have going on.
So of course I go to collect them. So because at this point, they had a Saturday at her sister's house, and then they were gonna go out. By the time I go collect them, they're already, 1 foot in the bag, whatever the hell you want to say. Two sheets to the wind. So I'm having to get them in. Like I get them down here because they were coming down here to go to this punch bowl, and the bride or the bride to be, you should just come and hang out with us. They're like everybody in the car, like, yeah, you should come back. Like, hell no, all the way hell no.
They were definitely cruising for peeing. Because my buddy, like we were, like I was telling Anthony and I were texting Saturday because I went to that chicken wing place again.
Yeah.
And so I was sending him pictures of the menu and like the food and everything.
And being disappointed by pizza rolls.
Yeah, they were sold out, not because they were too good. But so like I'm sitting there and my one buddy, he was Snapchatting with your girlfriend because she was putting up snaps of the party. Mm-hmm. And at one point he was wearing like a what?
Huh?
Huh?
What?
Yeah, I never heard him play Maggot Brain in here.
Oh, okay.
So at like one point, I don't know what he had said to her about like one of the snaps, but they had snapped back like, "Oh, you should come hang out." And then, like he had like a wife beater on like underneath his like zip up jacket, so like he did like unzip the top and like pulled it to the side a little bit. So like,
nipple?
So he was not the nip, but he was just like had the wife beater hanging out, and he like snapped a picture of himself back to them, and they were like, "Yeah, oh yeah, you need to come right now." And I'm thinking like, yeah, this is how a marriage breaks up before it happens.
No, because they got a couple of solo flyers with them. And I think they probably should put on because he would do well with one of their friends, because she that kind of girl. They do well together in that situation. They could both hold up that night together.
Yeah.
I literally had to tell him when I was left. I'm like, make sure you watch her. You know how she get. The one time I came down there, I had to come and rescue y'all because I have had this. Not the first time I had to come down there and come collect these people.
Yeah.
She was about to get on a boat with some motherfucker. I'm like, you watch and keep an eye on her, okay? That's what we tried. We just passed over to your homeboy because it would have worked. It would have been all right.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm.
The one with the kids.
Nah, no. Remember the kids she booed up. This is a chick. This is like one of the
Oh, a
homies.
friend. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Well, like, hey, I'm
Push
glad.
Mercedes.
I'm glad I'm not in that space no more. Like where I could even get myself in that kind of trouble. I don't want to. I guess that wouldn't be too bad. But yeah, I'm like
that kind of life never really enthralled me at all. Like I never really wanted to go through all that.
I get to skip somebody's Halloween party because my kid's going to the young lady school's homecoming.
Yeah.
And I was never so more excited in my life to be like, I got something to do that night. Oh, thank you, God.
I got to skip a Halloween party this year because I have to go to a wedding on Saturday. And then I realized I don't have to pass out candy this year because I'll be in Orlando.
oh yeah, I'm a chunk.
Whereas I think for the first time, I get to pass out candy. You know, first time in some years because the kids are old enough to go do and where I can't have. I guess I could have say over there or whatever, but it's pretty much like, no, we want to go kick. I want to go kick with my boys. I think Lily wants to go kick with her homies. So I'm like, all right, well then I'll just sit on the porch and pass out some candy.
We haven't quite made plans yet, but Emery told me the other day he wanted to be Batman.
Yeah.
I was like, I already bought you a costume, but Batman would be dope. So I don't know what we're gonna do yet, but I'm looking forward to it no matter what. We gotta get some pumpkins soon.
I'm totally not. I'm not.
You out of that place.
It's like if they
You can
want,
be like Carlito, but you can get away.
if they want to carve pumpkins, sure thing. Like they can. I've noticed whenever I carve pumpkins, I'm my skin's kind of sensitive to the pumpkin material. So my
Okay.
arms come out of that bitch. It's like irritated, kind
Talk
of
about
red.
work or home.
Both of them, I'm not really into.
The work
shit.
one, I saw the email. I went, delete. I'm not doing this shit again.
Because it's just like.
I'm doing
The
it.
favoritism always wins, and I don't feel like putting like any effort into this shit.
I don't know. I just kind of I like getting paid to do something that's not my job sometimes.
I do like it, but then it's like
That's why I go poop.
That's true.
people be there, but then they don't be there. You know what I'm saying?
No, it seemed like
I remember having to do the pumpkin by myself that one year, and I'm not doing that shit again because no one else wants to do it.
yeah, like I don't know. I've made peace with it. It's like they people never help that, but they always have input. Like you should do that. I'm like no, but
I remember, I'm like, if you don't like the paint job, you come over here and help.
You got a pumpkin idea yet?
yes, I do.
As long as you got a plan, then I'll be out.
I was thinking about like
I will follow you in the battle any day.
I was going to ask you to get a cup of sand from the beach.
All right.
And then we paint the pumpkin white, blue, red, and yellow, and then like have a blue background, like the pumpkin's a beach ball.
Bam. Sir, I'm on it. I got you. If I need to, I'll go get you some actual sand. I don't know if I want to get you beach sand. I realize we can just
You can get
beach
some
sand,
chiggers up in that bitch.
But I don't
Damn,
know.
you could
yeah.
probably get a bag of sand from Home Depot for like $4.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's not.
I don't want you to pay $4. Like, just you can get a cup of a jar of sand for free.
Maybe freeze it, kill anything that's in it.
You can, yeah, whatever. If you want to go through it and strain it when you get home, that's fine. But I was just like, my thing is always like, we don't gotta spend a lot of money to have some fun.
Yeah.
And like I said,
You think you could sous vide sand?
what to make glass?
No, just to like kill if there's anything in the sand. Like, just put it in a bag and put it in the sous vide bath.
I guess so. Like, I don't
Yeah, because like the germs would die at a certain temperature. If you just sous vide it to that temperature, you should be okay.
yeah, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. We got all sorts of shit.
I'm not saying do it. I'm just wondering out loud if it's possible.
I mean, who got a sous vide machine? You know.
No one. Well, I do know someone that's a boss, and I don't want to talk to him. I'm not gonna ask him to borrow a sous vide machine.
We can borrow it and fuck it up. Like, ooh, I didn't know.
Yeah, I'd never hear the end of it.
Oh my God. But yo, man, that's what we do. We get through, we come through, we podcast, shoot the shit with you for a little bit. Hope you will in return holler at your boys. Our merch store is up on TeePublic, and I just went through and did some tweaking the other day to get some things right, and it gave me such joy to see it up and running and see merch with our stuff on it.
I definitely want that gray T-shirt.
Yeah, I had to hit it in my thing and almost pulled the trigger on the other day, but then like after shipping and stuff like that, I was like,
Maybe when we do it, we'll just like even us know. I mean, we know that we should probably all get together and be like one order so we can get that free shipping.
Yeah,
hey, you hit us up and maybe we can do that for you and then FedEx it back to you.
But
listeners,
the merch looks good. The logo looks good on their merch, at least on their site. It's strange because TeePublic is owned by Red Bull. So our other store was on Red Bull. So I mean, it's just there. But the Teespring version of it is just nicer. The quality of the merchandise just seems to be nicer. And so our merch now is available on TeePublic. If you think you want to get some shit with our logo on it, go through there. Go drop the menu down. I tried to mix up the colors on every product. You can kind of see what it looks like on this color or this color and this color. So you kind of get a good idea if you go Stay Crunchy Milk on TeePublic. Link is of course always on in your pod player right there. You just go down there and it says the word merch. Click on that, take you right there. And I dig it. We have been trying to work out some ideas about some other merch ideas. I'm saying other logos, other things. I'm saying you used to be beautiful. Imagine that as a shirt. You know what I'm saying? But then you got to tell me how you would imagine that shirt so I can kind of make it happen. But so forth and so on.
I wish I could draw.
Popping out some ideas like that. But yeah, take advantage. Get on there. Go buy some stuff. Review us, people. I know I say it all. Actually, I don't say that. I say it at the beginning of the show, but that is literally a recording. But this is me telling you during the show to please go review us on iTunes or whatever, Apple Podcasts, or Stitcher, because those are the only places that accept reviews. But it matters. And
we do take it in blood too.
We also are on Spotify. We're on YouTube. YouTube is super breezy. You literally just have that shit playing in the background. If you have YouTube Premium, it just plays in the background. Unlike if you don't, it don't stop if you go off the app. Which is so weird to me that you got to pay for that little extra feature. But hey,
that's a special feature.
But it's there. Every episode goes up on YouTube now. It goes up clean. No, we have not gotten.
You saw some boobs lunch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We've not gotten any copyright strikes since
you know something you need me to sign?
Since changing my song, which was the issue. So good to go on that too. Got a good groove going.
And yeah, that wasn't background. That was Black Magic Woman playing.
Okay. So you know we out here doing the damn thing for you and yours. Our missing man is the real ODP. Make sure you hit him up and show love because
he was here. He was just asleep the whole time.
Quite possible. That's Tatum 216. That's Lunchbox 2099. I'm the Interstate 713. You've just been podcast 2, and I know you loved it. Peace. Right there, that too could be a logo idea. You think about it. You holler back at your boy.
Maybe.
Hey, what happened to you? You used to be beautiful.